All right, what you're looking at is a new project that's found its way to my house. And I'm not exactly sure yet if I'm going to record the progress of it on YouTube. I want to do it if there's, interest in it and views. So if you want to see it, subscribe, put comments down there. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know any suggestions you have on what I should do first. But here's my plan. So, long story short, this has been sitting in his yard for about a decade. I think he's taken it out one time. He's an inexperienced, airboat driver, and so am I. But I've been on quite a few. Definitely not an expert, but I am interested in getting this running where he kind of was not very excited about it. So, the plan is I'm going to help him get it up and running, and hopefully I get to use it a little bit for that. For my efforts. I'm not really sure how much it's going to take to get it up and running. The bones are there. Some of the bones will need to be repaired and mended. But I'm going to estimate about $750 potentially, and we'll get into that. First, let's go from the ground up. It's got polymer on the bottom. The polymer looks to be in good shape from what I can see. The hull is a point of interest. You can see it's been repaired before there and over there. So I'm not exactly sure if I should trust that or not. So, and there's another spot there. I believe this is, these boats don't really stop very well if you're not used to airboats, but sometimes they don't turn very well either. So these are sliding into trees or poles is where those come from. You can actually see the rail's a little bent, a little worse on the other side. So anyways, if you know what you're talking about, let me know how to test the integrity of that or just wing it. Also, if you're not very experienced with airboats, these things have a tendency to sink very easily. So I don't want to contribute to that with a bad hull. But anyways, if you slow down too fast, if you've been on a boat before, the water when you come off plane rushes over the boat. That's why this lip is there. But if you do it too fast, if you come off a plane too fast, it swamps the boat and the boat goes to the bottom. Clearly there's no flotation in that hull like some other boats. Anyways, so the hull, sketchy, who knows, we'll see. I believe if those repairs are good, we'll repaint it, we'll pressure wash it, repaint it, should be fine. All right, going around to the rigging and the cage. The cage is clearly the thing around the prop, and the rigging is here, where the seats and everything is mounted to the floorboards. Generally speaking, it doesn't look very good, but generally speaking, it's in good shape. It's going to need a couple little repairs, like items like this. There's a couple little mounts to the hull where I'll need to grind down, maybe re-weld some spots to it. Oh, sorry. Trailer is in rough looking shape, but good. It's a solid trailer. Grinding, sandblasting, and repaint. Tires are good. Everything's good about the trailer. As far as the controls are concerned, need a new cable, throttle cable, new steering cable, and so we'll get into that later. The cage itself is in good shape. The frame, again, sandblast and repaint, but the wire needs to be replaced. Got the rudders. We'll show you the prop over there. So I was not familiar with these motors, but everybody thinks these are aircraft motors, and they're pretty much the same thing or very similar. But this is a GPU, it stands for ground power unit, so I'm told. And this was a generator unit. This was built specifically to power a generator. This is a very old motor. It's older than me, built in 1967. So I'm old, it's old. Could use some freshening up as well. We'll get into that. There was, he kept this outside, and the carburetor was uncovered, so there was anywhere from 2 to 4 liters of water in the motor itself when it drained the oil. I believe I have a little bit of video of that I'll try to insert here. Yummy. So that's a Holley 500 carburetor up there that can be replaced or rebuilt. I think it's 120 to rebuild, and estimate and 280 to 300 for new. So we may just put a new one on there. That's part of the cost. Spark plug wires need to be rebuilt or replaced. Generally speaking, new spark plugs are needed. I already put oil in it that came with the boat. Fuel tank is good. Exhaust is good. You know, potentially we need some flexible exhaust. Run back there. I've got the flywheel starter and all that kind of stuff we'll show later. Here is the prop, and the prop's in need of repair. You can see on a couple of the props there's some denting where it's dented, and there's some delamination on that. So I'm a little concerned this could be our biggest issue and our biggest cost. Worst case, we could put a wooden prop on there and run it, but for now this is my biggest concern as far as cost. Rudders are in good shape. We're going to repaint. I think, again, if we get into the boat and it starts where it's going to run and be a good use of our time, we're going to use roughly the same color but repaint the boat. Kind of like the Key West mile marker 0 theme, I think is what he's wanting to go with. Fuel pump works. I tested that. I've got all new fuel line. Just a random comment here. By the way, if you haven't gotten one of these clamp tights, highly recommend it. They're an expensive tool, but the flexibility it gives you instead of hose clamps is amazing. Obviously the clamping ability is stronger as well. You can watch all the videos and stuff on it, but especially for a new project, this is fantastic. Highly recommend it. Already run so far. Need a new throttle cable. Hoping that magneto works, because from what I understand they're expensive to replace or rebuild. Oil cooler is in rough shape. There, sorry, I'm not watching the viewfinder. So this is in rough shape. Guess is it'll work, but yeah, shouldn't be replaced. He had large mufflers on here. I don't know if those are really needed. You know, most of the guys, like my neighbor has it just run, I think, straight through with no mufflers, I believe. So anyways, let me know what you think, if you think this is worth me recording. I like to do it, but again, I don't want to do it if nobody's going to watch. Oh, seats are in bad shape, so there's some, you know, maybe $100, $200 there on some used seat covers. I believe that the fiberglass seat bucket is good. Yeah, so let me know what you think. Let me know if you want to see it. Yeah, and where I should focus my efforts if you're experiencing this sort of thing. That's it. All right, thanks for watching.